up,
Everything,
mister? I thought you were...
everything's good, brother. I'm glad you called, man. I didn't think you were gonna call, boy.
I see. They let us off lockdown, so it was that's good. It's a blessing now, you know.
It's all good.
Everything good, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what I meant to ask you yesterday, were those the right tennis shoes I sent you?
No, Simone, homie. Hey, those are really gracias. I appreciate that, huh?
Oh yeah, no, it's all good, bro. You know what's up, man.
Yup.
Hey, man. So let's talk about this, bro. Give me your thoughts on these indictments, bro.
Well, look, man. Well, they had it coming, right? These motherfuckers, they had that coming, homes, you know, because they were the shenanigans that they've been doing, right?
Yeah.
They're them freely appointing and removing carnales, norteños, that were true guerreros of la causa, you know, for their own fucking selfish greed, you know,
Right.
And pushing their own agendas, man. Like I was telling you yesterday, man, you know, they were silencing a lot of homeboys by hitting vatos, you know, killing dudes, man, you know, pushing vatos out, righteous vatos, you know. These were the few voices, homie, who dared to stand up to these vatos, man, you know, to these fucking bandits, man, and they quickly fucking removed them, you know.
Yeah.
Chuco, look, man, look, Chuco knew, man, that all this shit was wrong, man, because Matt was talking to him, telling him, hey, look what's going on, you know. But he was making so much better. This other puto, man.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
This other puto Conejo, man, had him, you know, pleased on me by providing feria, means to generate feria. You know, it's all good, don't trip. You know, we're never going to the feds and all this other crap, right? Which that was kind of striking, right? Because I think I mentioned to you, man.
Yeah.
I had a talk with him, right? And I told him, like, hey, I explained to him, hey, how the guys were when we were out there, and he told me, oh yeah, you know, when I was in the oil, the feds that came talk to me, man. He said, oh, they did? I said, orale, what happened? So they were asking me, you know, they were looking for a mole, and I said, orale, they went that far to ask you, huh? What'd you say? So the vato said, oh, I threw names. No, watch that, trip out on this, right? Cura. He's like, oh, I threw names out there, telling him, well, you don't need me. Well, what about these other two? He said he was throwing names out there, right? So I tripped out on him, right, because he looked kind of like he was loaded, right? So I was like, hey, hey, Rabbit, I said, hey, who else knows about this shit? You know? And he stood quiet, right? I said, orale. So I started kidding at other brothers, right? I said, hey, you guys know when the fucking feds came out to this dude? This dude was supposed to go to the step-down program. All of a sudden, he's back out on the linea, and he don't want to get transferred out. He don't want to move. He's here. I'm all, you know, is that strike anybody out or what? I'm all, last I checked, man, we don't do that. But,
right.
But you know, that was that funny shit, right? So
yeah.
when I tried to reach out to DC, they said, Charlie. Right? I said, well, let me talk to DC. Oh, he right now he can't talk. Well, what do you mean he can't talk? You know, so all them mamadas, man, they were going on, you know.
Hey,
what's up?
So as far as DC, how do you think it's gonna play out for him once he touches down in the feds?
Look, homeboy. Well, I think, my opinion, I think the brothers over there are gonna hear him out, right? But at the end of the day, man, he was one of the ones that push him, get rid of these vatos, right?
DC
trying to
was
his own ass here. Huh?
DC was pushing?
I can't hear you, homie.
I said DC was the one that was pushing?
Yeah, you know, well, he was, when all that shit happened to Matt, he was like, oh, you know, and everybody else that backed him up, hey, get rid of them vatos too, right? So it's like, hey, what do you mean, man? You know, he was pushed up on también. They kept that dude on the back burner, homie. Yeah, he was the so-called fucking unconstitutional GAO, right? GOA.
Yeah.
Pero at the end of the day, man, you know what? He didn't stand up and say nada, man. All the fucking shenanigans going on. I tried to send him a letter, right? When Tibbs was still around, I was like, hey, well, let me send this shit over there to DC. Right? Talking about Rabbit being a fucking greedy carnal, right?
Yeah.
But see, homie, what the brothers didn't see, man, everybody had their own agenda, right?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I mean, it was. I was there with the dude, right? Hey, this dude was flipped. The Moscows flipped this. They flipped this dude in the bay, man. He was acting like them. His whole fucking get down was like them. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, all that establishing little fucking superiority over other carnales, and hey, this is my yarda, and I said, no, this is our yard. What do you mean, your yard? You know what I mean? So that type of fucking mentality, you know?
Right.
Remember I told, look, in the school down there, right, I told them, hey, well, why don't we start moving down south and start getting back our tierras that we had back in the 70s and 80s, man? He said, oh, well, we don't want to rock the boat. You know, we don't want to do that. I said, what do you mean? I said, man, that's all raza right there.
Right,
and,
right.
And knockers had these vatos, like I told you, man, from Pomona, San Diego, and all that, and the yard that he was at, doing his thing for him, right? The Moscow that was there complained to the brother.
Who was that?
Oh, you know, that was Woody.
Right? Oh, Woody?
Woody that was there with him, man. Yeah. So
from San Diego?
Well, you know, I'm not sure if he's from San Diego, right?
Yeah.
But he was asking the brother, he's like, oh, well, these are sureños, right? The homeboy's like, hey, sureños? What you talking about, man? He said, raza, they want to fucking help me out. They're going to help me out. You know? Like, hey,
right.
Who are you? In other words, who are you to tell me who to pick and choose, man? You know? And then it came back around because we caught wind of it. You know, I asked Rabbit, hey, why did the homie really get hit? Other than the fucking frivolous information you guys are telling me that, oh, because he was abusing his authority or he was doing this. I was like, yeah, but that doesn't call for a fucking removal like that.
Right.
You know?
No, they wanted to get Mateo out the way, homie.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
They wanted to get mad at all their supporters, you know? That's
exactly.
What they wanted. They're like, oh, you know, get rid of Mateo, get rid of Narcos, get rid of all these vatos they're still aligned with the true familia, you know?
Right.
Hey, let's get these vatos out of here. But look, that's them being fucking surrogates, man. You know, because look, who gives up their tierra for fucking financial and personal fucking gain, you know, selfish fucking greed,
Chuco and Conejo.
It's all Chuco and Conejo, exactly, right? And their fucking followers, you know. That's what I'm saying, man. You know, I was like, man, where you guys get this shit, man? You know,
hey,
what's up?
Let me ask you this. So now that those guys are gone, right? You know the feds probably already reached out to those cats in the state. The ones that are left behind, bro, they're not gonna get no pushback from them cats. They're gonna fall in line. But what do you think is gonna happen to the agreement to end hostilities? That agreement that they have going on out there.
Well, look, man. When I was out there, right? When I was out in the línea, I got a mensaje, right? An email saying, hey, if there's any manos right there, get rid of them vatos. You know? So that's when Rabbit goes, hey, if anybody hits these vatos, you know, hey, you know, you're gonna start. It's gonna be bad for them with us. And I was like, wait a minute, Holmes. I'm like, hey, if they need to go off our yards, they need to get the fuck off our yards. Period. I said, you know, that's just the way it is, man. I'm like, hey, and so I even brought up, look what happened with Skip.
Yeah, put that out there.
Yeah, I said, hey, look what happened to Skip. Skip was in the Yarda in Sheridan, Oregon, and then these vatos fucking said, hey, told all the norteños there because they wanted to play this Califa carro, right? So they said, they told about that, you guys can stay here, but your homeboy can't, right? Well, fucking Skip says, they go and tell Skip that, hey, these vatos are tripping. He says, who? The fucking Moscows, right? He goes, oh, don't trip. He goes, well, so what are you going to do? Homie goes, like, well, what am I going to do? I know what the fuck I'm going to do. He goes and rushes those vatos, right?
Yeah.
He goes and rushes them, right? and that's when the Perro Chatos jump in, right? They fucking back them up. And that's when Skip brings them back into the fold. And says, hey, look, all you vatos that haven't fucking spilled blood on the raza, you know, cáiganle. You guys are all good. You know what I mean? And they stopped that fucking Califa. They stopped that Califa car that them vatos try to get, you know?
Right. See, a lot of people don't understand where the animosity in the feds is coming from, but they don't know that happened with Skip. They're going to war over there in the feds, and these guys in the state, you know, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, cause at the end of the day, they're doing them. The homies were doing them. It's like, hey, all this fucking wrong.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Who who is it benefiting? Who does it benefit to have this romance that these vatos set up right here? It benefits them vatos, right? It don't benefit the homeboys. I mean, especially if you got vatos like that. Oh, don't rock the bullshit. It's like, wait a minute, man. If they can freely come up here, we can freely go down, you know,
right.
and get the shit, and get the raza back on track, you know, and those that want to come with the homeboys, you know, because homeboys, there's a lot of raza from Sanford, from Pomona, from Ventura, from San Luis Obispo. You know what I mean? All these counties, homes down there, Santa Barbara, you know, San Diego, homeboys. All these dudes, homie, they align with the homeboys. They don't even like them vatos, man. I mean, because the homies were not no fucking. They treated everybody equally, you know. It was just
right.
raza. So it was never. So all that north and south and all that. Hey, boy, they started that south shit. I mean, and the homeboys are like, what are they? Well, fuck, we ran with it.
Right.
At the end of the day, they were the ones that were losing, man. I remember I told this vato, I said, hey, well, fuck, who won the war? I said, then we should dictate what happens here. Don't let these vatos dictate.
So the M is getting pushed back from the raza down south.
They are. I mean, they even wanted to make peace treaties, vato, with the Cinqueros. There's another clique out there, right?
Yeah.
But it's all feria, it's all that shit, you know. But a lot of raza, homie, they ain't trying to go with that, man.
Hey, so what's the thing with the mariposas, bro?
Okay, on that mariposa, what I last I caught on that, right? Was these vatos were telling the homeboys it's all good. Go ahead and get that mariposa. You know, that's the new birth. You know, we're gonna make our own fucking history. You know, and that's embracing. You know, back when I was growing up in the system and on the calles, right? Mariposa represented the Moscos, right? So it's like, hey, why are we getting mariposa? Why are the homeboys getting mariposas? You know, but that was Conejo's fucking doing. Of hey, we're all one raza. And it's like, hey, look, man. Yeah, we're all one raza. But now with these dudes, they got, you know, they're using you to push their own agendas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get up. And look at them now. They're gone. All the raza is out there from up north. They're all strung out. So what did he do, homie? This vato started selling dope to the raza. I told him, hey, whatever happened to fucking the physical, mental well-being of the raza? You know, giving them a sense of purpose and direction while they're behind the wall. So when they go to the calles, you know, they're not fucking cholos from the corner. You know, they actually have a sense of what they're doing, man. You know, they're not just committing senseless crimes and shit.
And Conejo,
you know what? Conejo, that motherfucker, Holmes, he's like, fuck them, fuck Norte. You know, I was like, wait a minute, man. I'm like, what are you tripping on? Well, that's the raza right there. And I told him, Black Bomb was the one that established that shit back in the day, man. This is from back in the day, man. What are you talking about? So they were second-class citizens.
Yeah, everything I was hearing, Conejo was using dope out there too, bro.
Told me he was loaded every time I would talk to me that he was high on fucking meth or high on carga. They were pushing him to cool down this, right? They were pushing him around the yard in his fucking wheelchair, right? The vato was nodded out on the fucking wheelchair. And I used to tell them vatos, I'm like, look it. Well, that's your leadership right there. Look at this vato. And then he would.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
He was selling dope to these other to the norteños, you know.
Yeah.
It was crazy, you know.
And when you gonna be able to hit me back?
I'm gonna call you right back. I'll call you back.
Okay.
Call you back.
All right, okay.
All right.